I personally recommend Linux because it was developed by developers for developers, and so if you're going to be a developer in the long run, it will give you the things you need. I would never run Linux off of a flash drive because that's kind of not really doing it. That's sort of having a computer over here and then putting yourself in a box when you use your Linux distribution. The whole point of Linux, in my opinion, is to make you free. Therefore, I would install it on a whole partition on my computer and work from there. But then again, you know, if this is the last time you ever plan to use Linux in your life and you never want to have anything to do with it, by all means run it off a flash drive. Or if it works, well, great, go with it. So, you know, there's no limitations there. Yeah, I think the whole point of running Linux is to learn how to use it, which means learn how to configure it for your whole machine, get the internet working, get networking working, learn how to live with it rather than just have it be available. But whatever you want works with me. How's assignment 1 going? Everybody figured out how to write a Hello World program and compile it and then execute it? Good. Everybody know the difference between compiled code and the code that you write? Good, good, good. Everybody got the JDK installed, right? If you don't, that's okay. Quick hypothetical situation. You go to a company, you are hired to be a programmer, they show you your machine, and the first thing you say to your new boss is the JDK already installed on it? Because I don't actually am very comfortable doing that. How is that going to look? Really, really lame, right? The first thing your boss is going to say is, well, think to himself is, oh crap, who have we hired and how can we get rid of him quickly? Or her quickly. Let's not be there. You need to know how to set up your own environment. You need to have control of your own machine. Just because that's the only way to really be a programmer. You've got to have control of the system, right? So let's suppose you're hired by a company and the first thing they do is they show you a machine and it's already set up and they have their environment and you ask for the administrator password so you can install your favorite tools and they say, we don't like to give that out, or contact the IT department. What do? Yeah, you say thank you and you wait until your boss goes back to his office and then you whip out the Linux thumb drive and you install a dual boot partition and you take over the machine. This will make your boss very uncomfortable, but you have to realize something. You must control your environment, right? Your environment does not control you, you control your environment. You don't tell your boss how to make business decisions. You don't tell him which companies to purchase or who to make deals with or how to market your product or all that stuff. But when it comes to programming, you don't ask your boss. You are hired because you have technical skills, right? So you got to own something at a company. If you own nothing, you are not really needed. And an important part of working at a place is you got to carve out a niche for yourself. You got to be the IT department and the computer programming department or whatever. If they already have that, you don't need to get on people's nerves, but you do need to make sure you own your little piece of the pie. When your boss makes a dumb technical decision, what do? You push back. You actually do. Here's why. You are hired to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, yeah, keep your mouth shut. But you should know what you're talking about. And you should say, hey, you know what? That's not a great decision. You think that weakens your position and makes your boss feel threatened. And you're right, it does. But it also strengthens you a little bit. It also lets him know, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut when I don't know what I'm talking about. Or maybe I should listen to him more, or things like that. Programmers have a tendency to be very shy, don't we? We all hate people. That's why we work with machines, right? I mean, machines do what we say. They don't talk back to us. They don't require us to use the proper nuances. We don't have to be cool. They listen to us. We are vampires. We hide in caves. We don't like people. That's why we became programmers. But you cannot just be shy. It will burn you. So stand up, push back a little on technical matters. If you don't like my assignments, tell me about it. Say, hey, I think I'd learn more if I did this. Or, Dr. Gashler, can I do this project instead? See how it teaches all the same principles, but this actually fits with my interests and my hobbies better? The students that do that are the good students. So it's cool. Now, if you come to me and say, Dr. Gashler, I don't like your assignment. I want to do this really easy assignment instead. well, I'm going to push back on you, and you'll find I have more attitude because I've been doing it for a while. And even if you keep fighting, well, I'll pull rank, I'm the teacher, I have a PhD, blah, blah, blah. I know how to do that. But everything's negotiable. It's not like, we do not live in a world where you are a code monkey. I give you the spec, you do what the spec says, you get a paycheck, you go home. Do you want to live your life like that? No, you want to be the guy that runs the show, that knows what's going on in computers, that understands the product, what's going on under the hood, how it works, that even influences the design, right? The boss says it's going to be designed like this, and you say, yeah, that's cool, but it's actually going to be designed over here like this because technical reasons. And the boss says, yeah. Isn't that what you want? So I'm trying to get the right attitude into you because that attitude is one of getting it, of knowing what's under the hood, of taking control. It's not one of, okay, I got assignment 1 working, push it aside, now let's work on assignment 2. What you need to do is look at the assignments and know how they work. It's the only way you can take control, right? Okay, so with that in mind, let's take control of our program. I will make a directory, muckdir turt, which is short for turtle. Turtle.zip. Okay, I'm going to go into the turtle folder, run my build script. Now, if you look at this build script, it only does one thing. Well, it changes my desktop. Okay, whoops. It does javac, game.java, view.java, controller.java. This one line. Why do I even bother making a build script for just one line? Because it's shorter, right? I don't like typing so much. But also, after I program for a while, I'm not just going to have game, view, and controller. I'm going to have 50 files, and it gets to be a pain to type them all in. Now, I can actually just do Java compiler star.java. Do you know what that does? It says compile all the files in this folder. The only problem with that is someday it's going to happen that you're going to want to make a backup copy of one of the files, or you're going to want to have one there that you don't want compiled for some reason, and you start to lose a little bit of control when you rely on wildcards and things like that. So just make yourself a script, list all the files in it. That's total control. We like control. We hate just works. Unless we totally control it, then we love just works, right? Okay, so I've built the thing, Java game. I run it, and it runs on the wrong screen, and I drag it over to the right screen. And there we go. I made a turtle that runs around. Is this about what yours looks like? Okay. Okay, so you've got code. It looks like this. It works. Yay. How well do you feel that you understand the code that you wrote? Okay. Rule number 1 in this class, no magic. What do I mean by that? Magic is when you can't understand something, but it works, right? What's the incantation? Wingardium Leviosa, and then the thing floats up. How does that work? Nobody knows by definition because it's magic. Magic cannot be understood. That's probably because it doesn't exist. But I hate magic. If you can get stuff working but you don't understand it, that's kind of, I mean, how different is that from cheating almost? Of course, I forced you all to do it, so obviously you didn't cheat just now. But I'm kind of saying, as a matter of pride, as a matter of self-respect, as a matter of getting on top of this class, go back and look at this assignment and make sure you get it. Or attend today's lecture and I'll kind of go through it with you. Okay, yeah?
Is that exactly what it's supposed to look like when it's done?
Truthfully, I don't care what it looks like. I just want you to know how to do code. How does yours differ? Okay, you should be able to move the turtle by clicking. If it doesn't do that, I think the grader will say, you didn't meet the requirements, because it basically, you're supposed to turn in something where you can click to make the turtle move. Now, if you look at it, oops, wrong button. If I click right here, notice it moves until the top left corner of the bounding box around the turtle is at that exact point. That's kind of lame, isn't it? It'd be much cooler if maybe the nose of the turtle went to where I clicked. So if you want to subtract the X and Y values to line it up, that would be better. But right now I'm just going for simple. Here's a bare bones version of it. Now this assignment is meant to be pretty easy, so I'm just going to end up showing you working code today, and you're all going to go back and look at the lecture to still the working code so that you can figure out what's wrong with your code, and I'm not even going to have a problem with that. We're going to be okay with that. So no big deal. Let's all understand this code and get on the same page and get the submission process working, and then we're going to really start learning stuff. I promise you it will ramp up. So if you are already in I don't know what's going on mode, get out of that mode really fast. Seriously, we need to get on top of, you need to be in control of this program. Okay, so let's do it. Let's start with game. By the way, the letter K is not the name of a text editor on most people's machines. This is actually a script that I wrote that calls my favorite text editor and then passes to it the first parameter. Reason I did that is I got tired of typing the name of my text editor, so I made a script. See how scripts are darn useful?